Hello and welcome to Eliances, the place where entrepreneurs align. We are on the Wake Up America Media Network. I'm your founder, David Kogan of Eliances. We host our weekly roundtable where we gather professionals in the Valley to have stuff take place. Action takes place at our meetings. Businesses are built. We also have our grand table, which is approximately every 5 to 6 weeks, which has mayors, celebrities, investors, and so on to build and expand businesses. Today, I have my two co-hosts with me. On my left is Kevin J. Burke. Kevin, thank you for being here today. He is an entrepreneur, a mentor, an angel investor, an inventor, has started various companies. In fact, he was the first to invest with iMemories, Unicorn Media. He is owner of AZ on the Rocks, and once you know it, starting another company as being the founder of Service Guru. On my right, I have who we call the Navigator, Don Hanna. Now, Don's got over 5 decades of experience starting and building businesses. He started over 20 successful companies that have operated in 33 countries. He's worked with Lee Iacocca. He was the personal advisor to Michael Jackson. Interesting fact, he was one of the founders of the University of Virginia Polo Club, and he's the finalist for Inc. Magazine Entrepreneur of the Year Award. Don, the Navigator, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, David.
And it is my pleasure where we're going to feature today's company, which is Smart Armor Tech. And I have with me the two co-founders, Justin Zastro and Ira Hayes. Thank you to both of you being here.
Thank you, David.
All right, let's jump right in. Smart Armor Tech, what is it?
Well, Smart Armor is a technology company that specializes in security and accountability for physical items controlled by your mobile device. Ira, why don't you go ahead and give the backstory?
Okay, so it started with a little bit of an interesting backstory. About a year ago, I was working on a project in DC where I had a coworker that was constantly on his phone, his mobile device, and was on multiple prescription medications. He failed to take his medications correctly, even though he utilizes his phone for everything else. At that same time, I was currently training for an Ironman event where I was constantly on the go, moving around, taking supplements, as well as carrying gym keys, money, IDs, such things as those. I realized there was a fundamental need to be able to carry items that you use on a daily basis with you at all times. So I created a system that utilizes phone technology to store, track, and provide accountability for those items.
So it's all in one box.
It is a container that has a symbiotic relationship with your phone that in turn you take with you. It stores your items on the go, and it started because of the dependency that people have with cell phone technology.
So will I be able to get rid of my wallet and have it all in one?
Eventually, absolutely. Eventually, wallets will go to a coin type structure where your cards and digital information is utilized through your cell phone, but that day is not tomorrow. And there will always be a need to store and provide accountability for physical items such as medication,
right,
keys,
sure,
identification.
Interesting. Okay. Kevin, you heard what it is?
Yep.
What do you think?
I think this is very interesting. In fact, I was telling you guys earlier, both of my daughters have phone cases that have little compartments in the back where they slide their ID and a debit card and sometimes cash. We're always fearful that we're going to lose our phone. It happens very rarely, but if you do, those things they have your phone now, they have your ID and your credit card. So I think this is very applicable in that scenario. Tell a little bit about the technology. There's a symbiotic relationship that exists between the device and the unit itself. Is that something they need to be connected? Can we put the storage unit somewhere else? How does that work?
Okay, well, how it works is through the Bluetooth chip in your phone. What it does is it talks to the Bluetooth chip in our case system. And with the advent of the new Bluetooth technology being rolled out right now, the battery life is very long, as well as it knows proximity. So our phone can find our case, know when our case was opened, know where the last place it was at, Or if you break proximity of your case, not only does it notify your phone, it also notifies the case. So the phone beeps, your case beeps. The other big aspect of that is we've created a locking compartment that can be shared through a mobile application. So you and I could share the same locking compartment, and so without need for a physical key. And that's where it's going from there. It's providing accountability for the items you store in everyday life.
What's really cool, Kevin, is Apple has come out with these products and Nike's come out with these products and the Nike Fit Bands and whatever. Well, Apple started with this whole beacon technology for this hive theory communication, and they've spent billions of dollars into developing this. So what we did is kind of take that beacon technology that Apple's really kind of coming out with, and then put a switch on that. Our switch in our case is this locking mechanism. So we've designed our first round of cases for Smart Armor. We teamed up with the LifeProof guys, the core 6 members of LifeProof that started that business, and so now we're working with them to actually take our Smart Armor and get it into the mainstream markets. What's really cool about the business model is because it is the chipset, is we've got the ability to now take that and put that piece into really anything on the go. So you think about handbags or purses or backpacks or briefcases or really anything that you want to get into. We're kind of carving out that whole security on the go market to allow people that safety net.
Sounds amazing. Okay, Mr. Navigator, where are we at? What do you think?
I'm doing my best to keep up with all these young guys and all these changes. I mean, I'm really into the internet. I love it. I lose my phone. I lost my iPhone. I was in Florida recently, and it was like losing my right arm because I had so much on it. It concerns me. I just recently put the app on it so it flashes with a light, but I still misplace it all the time. I leave the house without it, and I say, oh my God, I have to turn around and go back and get it. So your idea is interesting to me. The other thing is interesting is I think you said that your driver's license and things would go right into the case. Mm-hmm. That would trouble me a bit because I'm always pulling out my driver's license so much, and if the case is big, especially in Arizona where we wear shorts, I put my small things in the pockets. Tell me about that. Is that a problem? Are you counting that as to the size, the weight, etc.?
Yes, what we've done is the initial case, the first product that we're coming out with is no bigger than the size of your actual cell phone with, say, a LifeProof case on it. So we've designed it to keep it very small, something that you could actually connect to your phone and put it in one pocket, so it's small enough, or use it for 2 different pockets, something to keep it simple. What we're trying to do is keep everything sleek and small, instead of the old hamburger wallets that everybody used to contain and throw your 30 credit cards in and your bucket of cash and everything else. We're trying to really slim it down because if you look in my pocket today, I've got my license, maybe a debit card, a couple business cards, and maybe a $100 bill. And that seems to be kind of the way of the future. So we've designed our product around that.
And who's your immediate target market? Who are you targeting first?
So the demographics that we've kind of designed and through our focus groups and studies have been geared toward the 21 to 45-year-old male market. We figure that probably 80% of the 80% of our consumers will come from that area. But as we kind of go out and develop and offer our technology to the purse manufacturers, the Louis Vuittons, the Coaches, and license it to them, we plan to gain that female kind of market through that.
All right, Kevin. Now, when you mentioned about the 30 credit cards, he did look at you. So, what's our challenge question today?
Well, there are several great challenges, but I think you guys are headed down the right path of great opportunity. Playing off of what Don said earlier, so let's say someone who does, and he's obviously in the small percentage of the market that lose their phones. What do you do if you lose your phone? You don't have the notification obviously from your phone. Is there any way to track it from a third party to log in, like Find My iPhone, where you can log into your iTunes account and find it that way?
Okay, because it's creating a wireless leash between your case and your phone, it also gives you the ability to track your phone with your case. Okay. And so it's providing the safety net of not losing your phone, which my phone is very important to me, and it's a major part of my life. And so when you can have other aspects that go along to protect that And so if you did lose your phone and you had your case, you can then sync on with the application. And it's an open source application.
So let's talk about that. So basically what happens is, the chipset in these smart armor cases communicates with the phone. It's done via Bluetooth, the new 4.0 that just came out this year, right? So what happens is you have to sync up, and each unique chipset has its own identifier that communicates to the phone. Once that happens, you actually designate your own passcode into our mobile app. So you're the only one that has it. It's kind of that double layer of security. So Ira loses his phone, right? He can call on me and say, hey, Justin, sync up to my chipset. My password's 1234. I can communicate with his Bluetooth board in that case. So his phone goes dead. It eliminates the problem of having to go through that mess because I can share that password that only he's created.
How long does it take to set it up? How long would it take for them to actually set this up?
Log in Facebook, program code, start application.
10
And
seconds max.
The cool thing about it is that if you have multiple cases, there's multiple case scenarios. So if you and I have one, through the app, you simply hit share. Now I can access your case for a limited period of time. All the time you set, you can revoke access at any point. And so for vertical other product markets, by utilizing this new long battery life locking system, you can lock and unlock things without keys for a multi-scenario usage.
Okay, Don, would you use it?
I'm having trouble giving up my hamburger. Half of this, of course, is cash. The other half is credit cards and things, and we'll shortly include my Ironman card after I talk to Ira about joining it. I have this in my pocket, and I feel back there, and if it isn't there, I have a heart attack. And I think, I'm having trouble with this. I think it's an interesting idea, but I have a tough time giving this up, I'm afraid. One other thing. Could it find my TV controller?
Well, wait a little bit. This is your TV controller.
Great. Good.
Well, since he loses his phone, that's exactly what he means. I can help him find his TV controller. Since he loses it.
Absolutely. These beacons are proximity based, so it started with you could put a sticker on your TV controller and then find it with your phone anytime you wanted.
Amazing. Well, we appreciate both of you being here on the Eliances show. When we return, we will be doing the silver dollar rating. That's a 1 through 5 on silver dollars. And it'll be interesting to see what each of them will receive. Thank you. So this is the part of the Eliances show where we do the rating for the silver dollars. And we've got 5 silver dollar coins here, and we're going to find out very soon what each host will go ahead and rate them. Okay, Kevin, overall, what do you think? What's your personal opinion of this?
Well, like I said earlier, this really hits home for me. Both of my daughters put their IDs and credit cards literally in the back of their phone, and God forbid their phone gets stolen or they misplace it. That's all gone. Luckily, that hasn't happened. So I think this really solves a great potential problem for them, and they could be secure in the Smart Armor box. And if they lose their phone or the box, they can connect with somebody else. Somebody else could connect to it with their authorization, and they can find it. I think it's great.
All right, Mr. Navigator. Don, how are we going to navigate through this? What do you think?
Well, as I said, I'm kind of having trouble putting my driver's license along with my phone, because if I lose my phone, I don't want to also lose my driver's license. I think it's a unique concept, and I think that they've obviously perhaps found an area here that could be successful.
Excellent. Okay, so Don, since you showed me yours, I'm going to show you mine.
Your hamburger?
Here's my hamburger, one of the thinnest wallets that are out there. So we'll talk afterwards in reference to this. Okay, Don, what are we going to do with the silver dollars? What are you going to rate them? 1 through 5 silver dollars, 5 silver dollars, the most that you can get. Where are we at?
I'm going to give 1 for concept. I think that it's, I love people that invent things and start things, and I think they put a lot into it. I've looked at their website, and they've obviously created something very unique and interesting. I question the need, but I think that they've identified a lot of areas of need that probably they will be successful in. I'm not sure the outlook. That'll, of course, be tied into the need. And I'm going to give the last $2 for their enthusiasm, age, and ability to come up with something completely different and perhaps could be very successful.
So you heard it from Don, $5 silver. Okay, Kevin, where are we at?
So I agree with Don's comments. I think these guys, they're onto something pretty unique here. I think the possibilities, the importance is, what the possibilities are for this company. They may be starting right now with a small case, but as they said, they could bring this into any kind of container, purse, lockers, things like that. So I think there's huge potential. So for that, I'm going to just start off with 2, just for the idea and the potential for the market. 3, I think they identified a real problem, like identified with my daughters using it. So that's that. And then really, like you said, Ira and Justin have, I think, that je ne sais quoi, that intangible thing that they're going to find a way to make this thing work, and they're going to work until it works, kind of thing. If they're going to pivot, they're going to pivot, but they're going to find a way to make this technology work, and it's got a lot of potential. To those guys, 2 coins, 1 for each, so I'm giving them 5 coins.
And I think both of you definitely mentioned the secret sauce part, which is really that passion and that drive. So as you see today, we've got $5 silver from Kevin and 5 from Don. They maxed out. They got the most that you can get. So congratulations. And thank you again for being part of Eliances, the place where entrepreneurs align.